Hi, my name is Bronwyn Jane and I'm a psychic medium and spiritual coach. This is video 3 of a 3-part video series that walks you through the steps of setting intention and how to actualize results in your life because of that intention. So it is a practical step-by-step way to take you through this process to create real change in your life through intention, through focused attention and direction of energy, which is what intention is. So if you haven't watched the other videos, go back and watch them and then come back to this one. So in this video, we have already, we've identified in our previous videos what we were going to focus on, and now we get down to the nuts and bolts of what we have to do. So quite often when we talk about ourselves, internally or externally, we are playing a story over, a story about why we haven't actualized our dreams. That's hard. It might just land with a thud. But if you take notice, if someone asks you about why you are where you are, there will be a story that you will tell. Now, it'll either be a story of aspiration and where you've gone and what you've done and what you've achieved. And yes, there might have been a bump in the road, but you're still going and this is full of exhilaration. Or it might be a story of, I'm not there because. I want you to focus on the second one. So if you're not where you want to be, when we've identified that one thing in our previous video that was going to change your world, and it's not in your world, what I want you to think about is why. Why isn't it in your world? Grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and get ready to get this out. So what I'm going to ask you to do is set a timer over the next 10 to 15 minutes. I want you to write your story about why your one thing is not in your world. All the reasons why it's not here. Get this out, why it's not happening. What is the situation about why you are where you are now? So pause the video, set your timer, and write your story. When you're finished, come back. Thanks for coming back and not giving up. So when you think of your story and you've purged it out of you, what are the 3 things that trigger you in that story that allow it to repeat, to allow you to stay where you are, that keep you in this space? What are your 3 things? There might be more than 3, but I just want you to focus on the 3 that come up that stop you from moving forward. Pause the video again, go back to what you've written in your story. What are your 3 things that trigger you? They could be beliefs, it could be values, it could be some kind of story that is playing in here, something to do with identity. Look at it all. What are they? So we've identified our 3 things. We don't want them showing up. Now, when we start this journey, they're going to show up. You're going to be triggered. We have to identify them, and that's why we went through that process. We need to identify the story that you are telling yourself and others about why you are where you are. And we needed to identify the things that trigger you to keep you in this space. It's important to be able to identify them. If we can't identify them, we can't bring awareness around them, we can't change it. Without awareness, there is no growth. And so we need to be aware of our story and what triggers us, what keeps us there, what keeps pulling us back. Those triggers in the short term you need to avoid. So if you are, for example, trying to kick a habit, whether it be smoking, drinking, eating particular food, this type of thing, you need to set yourself up for success. So, for example, if you're trying to eat healthy, and maybe we're still working on willpower, which I have a whole nother thought on willpower, but that's not for now. Avoid where the food is that triggers you. Only have the food that you want to eat available. Stay away from the other things. If you're trying to give up smoking, don't be around smokers. Don't be in situations that think or trigger you to want a cigarette. Just think of your environment. If you're trying to not drink or not drink as much, think about in that situation who you normally do it with, what situation you're normally in where that happens. And initially you're going to have to avoid it until you create new habits. So this is why we had to identify them. So now we're up to one of the last steps of this process. I want you to think of your new story. So what is your life going to be when you actualize this one thing that we've already identified in our previous video that will change your life significantly? You need to write it in present tense, as if you have it. One page, everything that will change by you bringing this one thing into your world. All the things that are going to change. Pause this video, spend 10 to 15 minutes again filling that page with everything that will change by this one thing manifesting. Now, you've done that. You've got a story that is new, fresh, and present tense of what it looks like that when this thing is manifested. Grab a highlighter, a different colored pen, and I want you to read through that story and identify 10 things. 10 things that are either affirming, they might be an affirmation, they could turn into a chant. 10 things that it might be that you are empowered, you are healthy, whatever they are when you're reading through this, that will be in your life when this has manifested. 10 things, highlight them. Pause the video, take your time and find them. They're already in you. Find them. Welcome back. So you've paused the video, you've gone through, you've highlighted those 10 things that when you know that your one thing when it's manifested will be part of your life. Those 10 things are going to be your shortcuts for how you get there. We're rewriting your story, but you can't sit there every morning and read what you want to manifest. It's too long. You're not going to do it. But you can create these 10 things into a chant, into an affirmation, into an affirming statement. I am whatever it is. Go through and create present tense statements around your 10 things. Pause the video and do this. I am. Come back. Now we've got our shortcuts. This is going to recode how you feel about yourself, and it will bring into your world what you are trying to manifest. Because you've already created the story, you already know what it looks like. We can't read that story every day to bring it into our world, but we can repeat a shortcut, repeat an affirmation, affirming statement, chant something. We can do that. So create a separate document where you write down these 10 things. This needs to be placed somewhere where you will go over this multiple times a day. Not all of them, but at least once a day you need to have said all of them. If it's more than once a day, fabulous. This will bring what you want to manifest into your life. These are the shortcuts to bringing that bigger story into your life that we have already identified will change at least 3 areas of your life profoundly. This is the shortcut to get what we started with in video 1. Commit to this and it will happen. If you've done any kind of manifesting work before, you know this stuff works. We're now taking it to the next level. We're taking it and amplifying the manifesting process to a level up here, unlike what most people do. My name is Bronwyn Jane and I'm a psychic medium and spiritual coach. You can find me at bronwynjanemedium.com.